Good afternoon, everybody. It's Joy Lingerie, and you're tuning in to another episode of Matured Physicians Interviews with John P. Lewis today. And he has quite the story to tell. So I do want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Luscious Moss Studios, owned and operated by Chad Christ and Edgewood, Washington. He started out recording drummers and guitarists, and now he's kind of doing a jack of all trades. So if you have any studio needs at all, do contact him. And I've been using him for some time. He's a very talented man. You can find him on Facebook under Chad Christ or Luscious Moss Studio in Edgewood, Washington. And with that, can I call you John?
Yes, you may.
All right, John, it's glad to have you on today. I got interested through a friend of ours, Suzanne. Garrett. How do you say her last name? Garrett?
Garrett.
Garrett? Okay.
Yeah.
My accent's wrong.
Wonderful musician.
Okay. Well, anyway, and then you came out to Duval and the Twin Dragon in Duval and played for me.
Yeah.
That was fun. We got to meet. So, how about giving me a? I know we put the bio in there, but a lot of people they glance at things and they don't have time to read. So, can you give us an idea of when you started with music, what your instrument was, who your influences were, and I think that's quite a mouthful for you.
Oh well, that's a pretty tough question. Like in my bio, and it says I played around New Orleans, French Quarter. Just busking on the streets. Playing
Yeah.
the usual songs. Never got serious about it. Never got good at it. Never really had any mentors or people to. But I was always a writer. And I've written lots of articles and stories, short stories. I've got a kids book that's about to be published as soon as the artwork is done. It's a kids book I wrote, but I've written lots of songs, and I guess that's my forte. And I put in good musicians behind me to give me those great solos.
All right. I am now live. Let's see if I can share this. There we go. Let's share this to matured musicians. Give me just a minute, John, here while I get us in here. Okay, so you were talking about you just started interviewing with me, telling me that you played in New Orleans. You were busking there. How old were you? Were you a young man, or was that later in life?
I was a young man,
I got the top of your head missing, John.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a young man, just, New Orleans was my home away from home. I worked in the offshore oil industry most of my younger years. And
Yeah.
I would come in, I would go to the New Orleans and have fun and then go back out to the drilling rigs again and do it all again.
Yeah, when did you move to Washington?
I moved to Washington in 1990.
Okay, and you're in the Salton area, right?
Salton, correct.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of wondering. I lost my train of thought, John.
I do it all the time. You bet.
uh, you were saying something about your background, and whatever it was is just gone from my mind. I apologize, folks. I was up late last night, no excuse, but I didn't get much sleep last night. Anyway, so when you started busking, you were playing the guitar. Was that your first experience?
Yeah, guitar. Just playing guitar around Jackson Square and on Bourbon Street. No, but not Bourbon Street so much. I wasn't that good. But I stayed on the back streets.
So what did you do from there? You came here in 1990. I don't know what time you were in New Orleans, but when did you get up to the Northwest, and how had your music skills changed from then till the time you moved here?
I guess it got I got more involved in the music. I moved to Tucson, around 1986. and I was introduced to Chris Smithers and you know, gosh, what's his name? My favorite guitarist, Tony Rice. You know, I was introduced to Tony Rice and Robert Earl King Jr. And these songwriters, and then there was Chris Christopherson, and these songwriters just started
Hello
uh,
in your mind.
good lyrics. You know, I
Yeah.
like good lyrics. You know, and that's what impresses me more than anything. You know, from other musicians. Let me hear those words. You
Right.
know.
Well, you tell me you were working in the oil fields in the New Orleans area, and what are you doing today? I know, they don't know.
Well, okay, I'm a track certified arborist. I'm a
Yes.
consulting arborist. People didn't even know there was such a job position. I'm a tree risk assessor. So they call on me to come and look, and I give them the straight story on their trees, you know, whether, you know, how to keep them healthy or if they should be removed, you know, and
You're the kind of guy I like. I don't like the ones that cut them
no,
unless,
I do a lot of climbing. Used to do a
yeah.
lot.
Well,
Uh,
if they need it because they're diseased, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
I'm kind of cool for it now, but do you go to Falls City often?
Uh, only to pass through on my
Oh, okay.
way to North
That's
Bend.
all you need because along the rivers, 32 flowering cherry trees that me and my son have been taking care of for 20 some years.
Wow.
Those
Wow.
are our babies. People come from all around taking pictures. We prune
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. I like people that want to keep our trees alive and well.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
what I like to do.
speaking of um, musical background, when you got here, did you go into music, or were you busy raising a family, or did you become an arborist during that time, or how did that all fit together?
Yeah, I became an arborist, I think, in 1997. And mostly it was just, uh, you know, meeting local musicians and getting more involved, going to festivals, learning, you know, who's who. And
Right.
a lot of those friends I made back in the early 90s, I still have today, you
Yeah.
know, really
Well,
honor.
there's a lot of rock and roll going on around here about that time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a lot, you know. I'm still running with some great musicians, and
Right.
love them all.
Well, you missed some good times last night. I wish you would have been there. There's Michael Powers. I don't know if you know him.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he has a kind of an upside down guitar. All he's got is like a rubber outline, and then instead of having the neck that goes off the top, it's turned the other way and goes down the bottom.
Oh no
it's,
way!
it's great.
That's great.
Yeah, he's quite the fellow. I'll be posting a I'll be posting a video of our time together, and it was fun. He's always fun,
Oh,
and you would have liked him, I'm
Mike
sure.
Powers. I've
He
heard
could
that.
play anything. So, be moving beyond that, you became involved in something. What was it? What was it called? Your project that you've been working on?
The documentary. The
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the documentary. It's been released on the DVD now, and it's you know, for rent, and will soon be released on Amazon Prime and lots of other streaming channels. And
Right.
it's a historical documentary that my son had told me about. He told me about this train. There's horrific train crash that happened up at Stevens Pass,
Wow.
and I got interested in it and started reading up on it. And I said, "Man, this would make for a great song." And,
Yeah.
and about thousands of train songs ever written, that one was one of the worst in American history, and nobody had ever written a song about it. And so I wrote this song, and it turned out to be, you know, recorded it, and it turned out to be pretty good. Then I heard they were doing a documentary on that incident, on that event.
Who
And
is doing the documentary?
Great Northern Railway Productions.
Wow. What year was that?
That was 2 years ago when I wrote the song, so it's been since 2 years. And I sent it to them. They loved it, and it's included in the documentary. It's also on Spotify. And
Yeah, cool.
it,
So, what was the story on that? It's obvious it was freight train. I have a love of trains. When I was little, we had steamer
it's a
engines going
yeah,
behind our yard,
it's a
and
great story.
and
That
I love Snoqualmie. I've been on that train.
oh yes, yes,
And
Nicole.
when I was little, we used to take the Empire Builder from Minnesota here to Washington to
Okay,
Tacoma.
all right.
So yeah, and I saw this and I thought, well, this got to be a good story. In fact, some of the pictures that I posted, the last one I had was I think it was July or August. We took him at Snoqualmie, and I posted those. I was sitting on the train. They have trains that you can
Yeah,
walk around, whatever. So, what
yeah.
was the actual story of this train wreck? I'm assuming it was a freight train. But what
No,
were the details? And you said the 1990s?
no. This happened in
Oh,
1910.
1910.
1910, and a lot of
That
people
was a
don't.
steam engine, right?
Yes, it was an old Baldwin, and it was two trains. It was a passenger train and a mail
Oh,
train,
no.
and they got stranded at Stevens Pass for 9 days in the worst blizzard in America.
Oh, my gosh.
9 days they were trapped up there on the mountaintop, and the railroad crews are trying to dig them out and everything, and then uh, spring front, warm front came in, and thunder and lightning, and it triggered this avalanche, a half a
Oh,
mile
my
long,
gosh.
that took out both trains and
Oh, no. How
sent them
many
to the
people?
bottom of this ravine. And so I wrote this song. That the documentary is a first class film. I'm very, I've got to preview it, and I've even got a copy now.
Yeah, was that what you were trying to send me?
It was, and I'm sorry if it didn't come through. I'm not very good with computers.
Yeah, because if you're on your iPad, I don't know if it shows, but there is a place here that says present. Can you see that on your computer on the bottom where it says, I don't know if you can see it, but leave studio, present, invite. Do you see that on the bottom?
Maybe if I hit more. No, that didn't
Yeah.
show.
It might be covered if you're, oh, well, that was interesting. John, come back. Oh, he just wiped out here. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I have a board here where we can see presentations. But there he's coming back.
Gosh, I should not
All
go
right, that was
buttons.
not fun.
Do not go pushing buttons in the middle of an interview, because I lost.
Never. I should have done it before, right? That was kind of I felt like I was at the bottom of that ravine at that moment.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, we were trying to present that. There's got to be some way that we can get that
Um,
to our listeners so they can see that because that's monumental. That was quite the story.
it is. If they have Facebook, and they can find all the information on, and it's called the Great Northern Railway Productions. It's a Facebook
Okay.
page.
Great Northern
Railway Productions.
Railway Productions. I'm going to look at that because I think that would be really interested to see his documentary. But do they show pictures of it? Anything from that time? on the doc?
There's a lot of photographs, a lot of interviews with the grandchildren and stories,
Right.
the rescue efforts to save those people,
Yeah,
and
we left the story there. The last thing happened was an avalanche coming down on these trains. Now, were they passing each other, or had they hit each other, and that's why they were sitting there?
no, they were sitting there because they were stuck in the blizzards, the snow, the tracks. They couldn't clear the tracks. And so it was a mail train and a passenger train, and they were sitting side by side, stuck up there for 9 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, it was a miserable time. And back in that time, they didn't have the
Yeah,
tools we
what we have today, 1910 is quite a while ago.
have.
So, what happened to these people when that avalanche came? What was obviously the trains and the people and whatever else was in the freight?
Yeah, there were 96 people killed.
96?
96.
Oh,
I forget how many were on the trains themselves. A lot of those were uh, workers,
yeah,
railroad
right,
workers, trying to
right.
clear the line, and they couldn't keep up with the snow because as snow was coming down, it was reported a foot an hour,
Oh
one
my
foot.
gosh.
and
So,
there
did they rescue any of them? Were any of them saved?
there were few survivors, yes, and in the documentary, they have these interviews with people that like to say the grandchildren, and
Right,
yeah, it's a very tragic event.
right. Well, where's Stevens Pass? Is that up from you, up the mountain from you,
Yeah, just right up
on
the
the
house.
way to Leavenworth?
Yeah, on the way.
Okay.
The train was coming from Leavenworth,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was coming westbound, and so they got at the top of Stevens Pass,
Mm.
uh, and they said,
Well,
well, why don't they pull into the tunnel, and they would have been safe, but the tunnel, they would have used up all their oxygen, and they felt that that was been more dangerous.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
a
amazing.
lot of people don't know that, don't even know about it, but
Right. Holy cow, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I've been up on Stephen Pass, and I'm sure it's changed on my way to Leavenworth, and it doesn't frighten me. That's that. There's a few that do. Snoqualmie is not my friend. I get
uh,
all crazy. I go up there, but I don't like it, and it
uh, I
scares
wrote a
me.
song called Snoqualmie Waltz. That's
Oh, that too? Cool.
yeah, pretty popular around the valley. You
Yeah.
know,
There's not. Where did you list them? Because I haven't found anything.
I don't have anything. Someday I'll get money to go and record
Oh,
all
geez, John, that's you got to do that. Someday may never come.
that.
I hope you have the money to do that because I would love to hear them. And there are some minor studios, not the major things like London Bridges, whatever. Although I would recommend that too. That are not that expensive anymore. Um,
No, and there's some very good studios out there.
yeah, and including the one that I sponsor here. He sponsors me, and I don't pay $1,000 an hour like some,
No, no,
and and I get good quality video, so I can't complain. But anyway, moving on from that, when I was up on what I believed is the summit of Stevens Pass, it doesn't look as far down or as dangerous. So, how many feet were they up, and what did it take to get down to the wreck
the
to try to save the people, whatever that, and through the snow, I imagine, right?
yeah, it was it happened right at the top of Stevens Pass, and where there's a tunnel that goes, or used to be. They don't have,
Oh, okay. So not
but
anymore.
you can still
Okay.
get to the site. It's a real very interesting. They've got a little uh, uh, placards and history of where the town used to be and where the train, and the wreckage is still at the bottom of the ravine.
Oh, really?
I haven't
Okay.
been down there to that, but
Is it quite a walk or quite a trek to get down there?
No, to the snow sheds, it's real easy. It's real easy. But to get down to the trains, yeah, you have to rappel or
Oh,
go down
yeah.
on a rope. It's real.
Probably not something I can do. I guess I'm gonna have to just watch the documentary.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting story, part of our local
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
and I'm
Can't believe
proud
that
to be a part of it. Yeah,
right. I
yeah,
only one that I remember was in DuPont not that long ago. That's the only one I knew about. I didn't realize there was a history of that here.
yeah, and it still stands as the worst avalanche in American history, and
Wow.
one of the top train disasters in American history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. In this documentary that we're talking about here, that what was the inspiration? Or I mean, I know that was the inspiration, right? The song, but what was the what? How did you go about this? I mean, had you been writing songs prior to this, or
Oh yes, yes, I've
oh,
written a lot.
okay? So how did you find out about this and start making a song about it?
Well, me and my son were coming from Eastern Washington, and he was, I guess, 13, 14 years old, and I'm driving, and he just mentioned that there was a bad train disaster there. I'd never heard of it, and
Wow.
he was
Did you go
telling me,
down? Did you go down and look?
not at that time. I just started researching it and thought it'd
Mm,
make a good song,
right.
and they like it. They think my second one's better, but it's not on the documentary.
So, so do you want to play it for us?
Which one? The second one, the one they.
I don't know. Which song would you like to play about that wreck?
Well,
Uh,
the one that's on the documentary,
okay.
they can listen to that. So I'll play
Okay.
Gypsy Train.
Okay. I gonna have your head cut off here again, but we can see your guitar just fine. So I'm going to get rid of myself. I will come back when you're through playing, John.
I'll
So
try my best. Like I say, I blew my voice out at a party
yeah.
the other night, and it's not behaving right. So
Well, you know what? I know folks sing on here, and this is not the place to hear a song in, uh, like you hear it in a studio. I mean, these things just don't work that well. But I will let you go ahead and play it, John. I love to hear it.
okay. Well, that first song is pretty factual, the one that's in the documentary. This one, however, is about a guy on the train, and it can't be verified, but I wrote it anyway. And this is a guy on the train. It's called Gypsy Train. A gypsy woman came upon, calling out my name. She worked a piece of darkness and she set me on this train. And the mountains rise before us, reach to the sky. To my friends and families, this is my last goodbye. The snow keeps on falling down. The icy caps of winter keep crashing all around, and the wind is howling. The devil's crowding, I can't feel my body anymore. They say these mountains hold souls of many good men, all in search of something in this godforsaken land. And the curses of my present, the curses of my past, I'll walk these slopes and ridges for as long will last. And there's no heeds of all down. The icy caps of winter keep crashing all around, and the wind is howling, the devil's prowling. I can't feel my body anymore. The flashlight of walleye, the last thing that we saw, swept off this mountain in the prints of devil's claws. He was hanging right on my tombstone in my epitaph. The last thing that this man heard was the sound of gypsy laughing. The snow keeps a falling down. the icy caps of winter keep crashing all around, and the wind is howling, the devil's prowling. I can't feel my body anymore. Yes, the wind is howling, the devil's prowling. I can't feel my body anymore. No, I can't feel my body anymore. Oh, I can't feel my body anymore.
All right, I'm back. Wow. Unfortunately, my audio was not working properly. So when I put this up on my TV later, I'll be able to hear it better.
I hope so. I'm not good at that.
Oh, I love the song. I think it's great. I think it did extremely well. So I enjoyed that. And you have another one in there that about this train wreck, don't you?
Well, the one that's recorded, the one that's in the documentary, that one that I just played is not in there. But
Are you going to play that one too, I hope?
you want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
This one tells that story of the train.
Okay.
And what's on Spotify, it's got all my buddies, and they're doing incredible solos and stuff. But I just write the words. February 23rd, the year was 1910. Sidetracked out of work, waiting for the storm to end. Engineer, he made the call, sitting on those tracks. We're going to see our boys on the mountain pass. Down 30 miles up the tracks and outside of Lake Fair. Snow as deep as a mother's love, still. Our work day and night, trying to clear the line. We tried to sleep, but huddled in fear of Wednesday's night. It's only snow after all. It's only white cat falling from the skies. It's only death after all. Lightning strikes, flashes on the side of the lantern. Train cars just keep crashing down, they fall. Now they trapped on the mountaintop, 9 days of blizzard blue. Snow metal by the foot an hour, there's nothing we can do. March 1st, the weather changed, the snow turned to rain. Thunder shook the mountain and the devil made his blade. It's only snow after all. It's only white cat falling from the sky. It's only death after all. And lightning strikes, flashes, thunderous avalanche. Train cars just keep crashing while they fall. Fast metal train 27, we were 25. 96 bodies carried away and 23 survived. 100 feet below the bottom of the ravine. 40 feet of white death, they found in their shoe. Now sometimes on a winter's night you hear a whistle blow from high up on an icy ridge where no train could ever go. Voices whisper down the slopes, search for that train. They're carried them westward down the line, all to expect to pay. It's only snow after all. It's only white death falling from the skies. It's only death after all. And lightning strikes, flashes, thunderous avalanche. Train cars just keep crashing out, they fall. Train cars just keep crashing out, they fall. Train cars just keep crashing out, they fall.
Bravo, John. I liked it. Yeah. You know, you're going to be a great uh, impersonator for John Denver. You've got that look, that
Oh, thank
glasses
you.
and the hair, and his smile too. Yeah, there's one out there. I've been trying to get him to interview, but so far, no. So when we had that little where you disappeared, I hope you were still
I
recording.
hope so.
Uh, now I don't know. It looks like it, but we'll see. It just these electronics sometimes don't do. They sometimes don't do what I expect that they're going to do.
I understand. They never work for me, so I don't. I'll leave that to the young folks.
So I guess the next question is, those are great songs, and they're about a subject matter that I personally really care about. That was an interesting interpretation in song of what happened that day. I'm wondering where you go from here after something like that. Must have been exciting, especially when they're making a documentary. And if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is they actually put your song on that documentary.
Yes, that one you just heard is at the end of the documentary in the credit rolls,
Uh huh.
and it just it fit the film really well and what they were doing, and where do I go from here? I don't know. Just a yak farmer.
No, 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 no.
Right.
So, have you? How many songs would you say that you've written, since then?
Oh gosh, I lost a huge compilation of my writings in a storage shed. I had them
Oh
there.
no!
Yeah, I had quit writing for a long time. Just because it was just a lifetime of
Oh no!
stories, short stories, and songs and poetry, and I lost all that, and it just devastated me. And
Yeah.
but I'm still just writing songs. My band Lost Dogs, we did a lot of shows last summer,
All
and
right.
this summer we just kind of backed off a little bit. Um,
So, who is we? Do you have a band, John?
yeah, I've got the Lost Dogs, and I got Bruce Stone is in my band. He's been a friend since I moved here. One of my long term friends, Bruce Stone, and he's well known in Duval and throughout the valley. He's Uh, and I've got Lindy Brown on bass, Jeff McCracken on drums, Steve Lemming when he can play with us, and he plays with Stillwater Hill and
Okay.
plays the dobro. And but with us, he likes playing with us because he got his
Yeah.
electric guitar and he plays it so good. you know,
Well, what would you call this? Americana? Your
yeah,
music?
that's kind of
Americana?
because
Yeah.
we don't have any rules with our music. We do bluegrass tunes with drums and electric guitar. We don't care. they,
just just
they
a
can
lot of
judge us
fun.
all they want to. If it's well written, and we play a wide variety of songs. We don't just stick with any one genre. We'll do a blues or an old. You never know what's going to come.
Right.
From us. A lot of originals. Bruce is a great songwriter. We love doing his tunes as well, and we just have fun. We're not
Yeah.
looking to get famous. We're too old to look for fame and fortune, but we
Yeah.
just have fun.
Yeah. A lot of musicians have given up on that, and they're independent artists, which I feature independent artists here and songwriters that are beginning or have stuff out there that they've been working on and want to get it out there. So this is a platform to do it. I know there's other people who have podcasts and have been interviewing musicians in the area, but I'm not after the big guy. They'll have a couple of those too. I'm just hoping that people have music that other people aren't hearing in certain areas of the state. Have a chance to hear people like you and hear the story, hear uh, what you did, and What comes to mind is, how did this song come to you? Did it just, you heard about this, you researched it, and then put it into words, or did it come first music and then words, or what happened? How did it work?
The chorus came first.
Yeah.
The chorus came first. I liked it, but it didn't go. It didn't do anything with it until because I'm like that. I can't just start writing words. I'll write it, rewrite it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Don't we
And
all? I mean,
very few songs just came out and flowed to the end.
all right. Right.
Usually takes me a while to put
Yeah.
something together, and
Yeah.
you know.
I got that. So what are you looking for in the future? What do you hope for? Do you think that you'll be playing until you're old as I am, or have you spotted another adventure out there that you're interested in, or
No, not really. I'm just kind of, I've had some health problems that I'm just going to pay attention to for a while. And,
uh,
just not try to push myself too much.
yeah, I know about that.
Last year we played 5 shows in one week.
Wow.
That almost killed me.
Wow.
Maybe the professionals, they can do it, but they're used to it. Not this old man.
Yeah. You got to be in pretty good shape to do with people that, I mean, they were, excuse me, as often as I was talking to the drummer for Billy's Shoe, Doug McGrew, who you met that night. I believe he was the drummer. Um, used to do 3 a day on the weekends. I mean, he just went from one place to the other, and he still doubles up. I mean, he's no slouch, but that's his income. I mean, you've got to pay the rent, right?
Yeah, you got to pay
Yeah.
the rent.
And I can't imagine. I see these people's schedules. I have a lady who started out in a bread store that I played in. I forget what it's called, but she just started doing home shows, and
Yeah,
she would, yeah,
concerts.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And now her schedule's insane, and she's been touring. I mean, she's actually gone out of state to do this stuff, and she's just amazing. She's an older lady, like, she's no what is that girl's name? I can't think of all these popular um, girls that are singing, but in country music, because I don't do their stuff. They're way beyond my capability, and they don't sound like country to me. But anyway, she's just an older lady, and she's just amazing. She just keeps going, and I'm like, nope, that's not me. I'm getting too old for that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that time has changed us a little.
A good friend of mine, Michael Lisenby, and he moved to Nashville, and great songwriter. And I stopped off and saw him back at Christmas time,
Yeah,
and yeah, and he, I even got to play those 2 songs on stage in Nashville.
great.
That I was, I was kind of.
How were they received there?
It was well received. Yeah,
Yeah,
they, originals don't get received as well as familiars. I
yeah,
mean, but good familiars, you can sing along,
yeah.
whatever. But it was a fun time. Mike, he's tried to get me to move down there, and I'm like, it's too fast for me. I'm slowing down. I'm old.
Did you say you had a farm or a piece of land, or?
Yeah, I got a farm here. Got some acreage, not a lot, but got 4 yaks and 4 goats,
Cool.
chickens, and
Oh,
coyotes. Always trying to get them, but
what was that after the chickens? What?
the
Geese?
coyotes. Always trying to
Oh,
get
coyotes. Oh my gosh, yes. I get that. We live here in Redmond, and we live up against the mountain right before it starts, and there's been not is it coyotes? Yeah, it's coyote. I believe it. They're coyotes howling at night, And I guess they've had bear. I've never seen a bear, but I deer come by here. It's quite a big park. There's like 100, excuse me, about 135 to 40 units.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and it was an old farm. And so the bridge that used to be the road is still here. And it's over the creek, Bear Creek, here on the property. And it's just amazing. It's just an amazing place. A lot of geese. They like to go on my roof and eat the tar. I don't know what that's all about.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see if I had land, especially at how expensive it is everywhere. I wouldn't want to leave either. I wouldn't want to sell it. Jeez.
Nah. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be fun. But I'm too, because I volunteer at Children's Hospital, and I can't,
Ah,
my the lady that runs that part of the program, she says, John, no way can you ever leave. You got to come at camp every year. Because I go to children's camp, and they all look, kind of
is that the Seattle Children's Hospital?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have a summer camp once a year. I used to volunteer at the hospital in the playroom, you know,
Ah,
playing games, but the commute got
yeah.
really bad.
Cool.
So now I just do the once a year. There's summer camp down in Wilkeson, Washington, part of the horse
Ah,
crew.
Wilkerson. Yeah, I know where that is.
Part of the
Yeah.
horse crew,
Cool.
and the kids, they think I'm a real cowboy, but I
Oh,
make up stories
that's
as
sweet.
we go along the trail riding.
Cool. So, what are your future plans? Any future plans? I guess I've been alluding to that and kind of asked, but uh, what do you see in the future in the next 5 years?
Yeah, I would like to get, looking to get some of my better songs recorded. You know,
Yeah, you said that earlier, and I hope you do
that
that.
that's my goal. Where I'm gonna just focus more and get this book published. That's gonna be coming soon.
Book? What book? You got a book to publish? What book?
Yeah, it's a kid's book. Um,
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that earlier.
yeah, do you know
Yeah.
Joni Holler? You know
Who?
Joni?
No,
Joni?
no.
No. Anyway, her husband's got a publishing company, uh, and I wrote this kids book, and I just got an artist to do the illustrations. He's all excited about it.
Mhm. Cool.
So as soon as the artwork's done, it's gonna hit the
Oh,
shelf.
that's great fun, John. Is that inspired by the kids at the hospital?
Well, funny you should ask. No, it wasn't.
No.
I wrote it for my son's 10th birthday, I believe. I was sitting in prison. I was sitting in prison and wrote this kid's book, and it's been there. It's been collecting dust since 2004.
Oh,
And
I want to get in there, but I don't want to intrude. But
I don't try to hide nothing. I'm like pretty open book myself.
person. Oh my goodness, John. I can't even imagine that. So, was you visiting or were you in there?
No, I was in there.
Oh no.
I was in there in a hardcore prison
Oh
for
my gosh.
simple misdemeanor, disturbing the peace.
For
It was more to
disturbing,
that, but that was the original.
basically disturbing the peace.
What?
Oh my gosh. You could be, well, I said John Denver, but with a little forethought, maybe it's Johnny Cash.
It's a prison tune. It's a kid's book. No, it's a prison book.
Was that a long time ago or?
2004.
Oh my goodness.
And it's been sitting on the shelf collecting dust. And then I met Joni and her husband Roger.
Right.
They're well known around Duval. She owns the CC's, the little coffee shop there. And
Oh, what's it called? I have to stop in.
CC's ice cream shop there next to
Oh,
in Duval down Main Street.
Yeah, I think I know where it is.
Yeah, a little shop, and anyway,
I
that's
used to go in there every now and then and get
great
coffee.
people,
A long time
wonderful
ago.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
and um,
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret, John. I was trained to be and worked in 2 prisons here as a correctional officer for the state of Washington.
okay. Well, I can tell you some stories. Yakima is no fun.
Yeah, come on. Oh my God.
That's what
I
they
was
said.
I was at McNeil Island in Monroe.
But the thing was, when I was in prison, and I started writing these stupid songs and writing books, and they all thanked me when I left because it's John. You make our time go faster.
Faster. Yeah.
Make
Oh,
it
that's
go
so
easier. And I'm just a clown.
oh, that's
Experience.
well, life must be treating you really well, John, because every time I see you or talk with you, you're smiling.
If you know what I've been through, you smile.
I'm sure there's more of a story there because I can't imagine you be a hardcore felon.
I was. I was. You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously shared a story with the best of them.
A lot of my songs that I don't play anymore are really dark and
Yeah.
are from those days.
Yeah.
Really dark, and I don't even want to. I don't even want to play that. Did I write that?
Are those the songs that got lost?
Some of them. My
Some of
son
'em.
found an old CD. I'm not even going to tell you where it's at because he found it on some music platform, an old CD that I recorded, and it is so shitty. And I'm like, I've fought with him to take that thing off because it's embarrassing. But I go back to it now and then to reflect on some of that
Yeah.
stuff. Um, but
Well,
he came to me and said, Dad, did you know you got a CD on this platform?
that's cool. That's really cool, John. Did you ever think when you were busking that you would ever end up where you are today?
No, no idea. I was certain I would just, you know, just go down like the rest of the street urchins, and
Well, you know
I
what?
almost did. So many numerous.
Well, I have something in common with you to some point about the writing because you know I you know different audiences like different songs and I put things out there, but my reason for writing them is basically there's stories to tell. Things I don't write rock songs, which I've never been able to understand. I mean, some of them, yes, but there's others that I just like. Why do they keep repeating these words? Could they not remember words? So they're going to come after me. I can tell. But anyway, um, I needed to tell these stories, and it was like, okay, I'm going to be gone. I don't have any money. I can't leave anybody anything, but I can put something out there that will be out there and preserved at least for as long as these things are on the internet. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's my immortality, I suppose.
Yeah. The Rodney Krauss. I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
in my songs.
Maybe nobody will ever know it or see it, but at least they'll know it. I'll know it's out there, right?
It's out there. How long after I'm gone.
Yeah, I got a
Hopefully.
new one coming out. I don't know if you um, have ever listened to the indigenous music of this area or any area.
With the tribe, when I used to hang around the Snoqualmie tribe and those folks
Yeah,
years
well,
ago.
it's called Warriors Like the Cherokee.
Warriors like the Cherokee.
Yeah, it's coming out July 4th. And
Oh, look forward.
yeah, and it's a story of it's actually I take family stories, what's happened in my family, and then I Hollywood them. In other words, I keep them true to form, but I also give a slightly different slant to them, and to emphasize a bottom line. In other words, this one is actually about PTSD.
Okay.
But it's framed in Indian music. So it comes in with an eagle screeching and birds twittering and then a hawk. And then you start hearing this drum, the Indian drums. And the flute is playing in the background. And then the story comes forward. Hi, Rosie. I can see you just dropped in. And as the story goes along, it's about my son and my daughter who are both in the military. And they leave the military and go up into the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina, where he's from, Asheville. And they live in a little cabin that his Cherokee grandmother gave him. So my grandchildren and my two great-grandchildren are Cherokee. They have Cherokee blood in them. And the story is about their love and how PTSD kept that love, tore their love apart. There's a line in there, wounds of war tore their love apart. It's one the chorus. So it's warriors like the Cherokee, wounds of war to their love apart. Basically, that's the lines of the chorus. And then of course,
yeah,
and I got all these people. I got these drums, and then I got all these people singing in the chorus. So it sounds like a whole village of Indian people singing. And I researched that. Excuse me. I wasn't familiar with a lot of Indian music. So, excuse me. Wow, good grief. What's that all about? Anyway, I tried to make it as authentic as possible. And as not much Indian music is really out there other than, flutes and, some of the things that put me to sleep at night.
Right. Yeah.
So this one tells the story. And the bottom line is this is what PTSD does to people. I mean, their marriage is never the same. Oftentimes when the guys come back, and also American indigenous people are the ones who are more likely to suffer from PTSD and suicide than any other group within the military. So I thought it was a story that needed to be told. And so I tell it in a storytelling way. Hopefully you can see it'll be on Amazon and Spotify and YouTube and you name it, it's out there.
I will watch for it. July 4th, huh?
All right. And Chad Christ is a genius at production. And we worked on how I wanted things and how to put it all together. And we finally got it done. And I have a man called James Crawford, who is a Indian, Cherokee Indian. And he has Cherokee blood in him. And he helped me with the drum beat because I didn't quite know how to put the drum beat in there. And it's kind of the mainframe of that. I mean, that drum beat just goes back to you.
What I understand right now, I don't know, and I could be wrong, that on the drums that like we've got 4/4 and 3/4 and 6/8, but somehow the Native American is on fives. Like
Yes.
everything fifth beat on a fifth beat. So.
Yes. Well, all I know, I don't know much about drumming, but what I do know is that there's a different beat on each hand. So there's two different beats in there and they combine in the song in the drum beat. Now, whether it's true or not, I was told by James Crawford Toma that the drum beat is a war beat. The drum sound, that's actually a war sound. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But once you hear it, I think given your kind of music, you might like it.
I will watch for it. Yes, I look forward to it.
All right. Well, we've got about 6 minutes yet.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's people that will listen to this. They're at work now. Most of these musicians who like to listen to this are working, except for Rosie, who's on here now. She's a friend of mine. And so they watch it afterwards. And if you have a lifetime of experience out there, you have a son who's up there in age. I mean, he's not a baby anymore.
No.
So do you have any advice about that followed you through the years from the time you were doing the oil fields in New Orleans until today when you're an arborist. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Say it right? Say it,
arborist. Yeah.
arborist.
That's
Do you have
right.
any advice or any life lesson that you'd like to share with us?
I guess I would. I have to. I have to deflect some. My son. I remember because I lived a hard life. I made a hard life for myself. I was
Yeah.
strung out on hard drugs most of my adult life,
Oh, hi.
and I lived homeless. I was a homeless, vagrant, transient from riding my thumb wherever I go. If I had a guitar or not, it was gone. But and I thought I had to have drugs and alcohol to soften that lifestyle, and never making the connection that it was keeping me there. you know, and
You
I sold out of that. And I had a lifetime,
congrats.
and of course the consequences are showing their ugly head now. That my son, and he saw me going through all those hard times, and his words ring. He was 12 years old or something, and he saw me pulling out of this and pulling out of that, and just when I'm thinking, man, I just can't do this anymore. Just thinking to myself, I'm just about to give up. He says, Dad, he told me, Daddy, you never give up, do you?
I love it, John.
From the mouths of babes.
Absolutely.
Never give up, Daddy. And,
That's
and so
right.
I think of giving up. I think of that little boy.
Yes. Well, you got a gift. I mean, obviously, I've met a lot of men who go into those rooms and they do their the artwork, that you often see in places like you've been, and that just beautiful gifts that aren't used. They come out and they're not using them, and obviously you're not going to make a living out of it, but it's a great hobby and it releases a lot of hormones and all good things within your body. Singing does, and it's a healing process as well. And so you have a gift to share with us, and I'm glad you did not give up, John.
Okay, well, thanks. Well, y'all can come see.
Kudos.
I'm not playing a lot of shows this summer, but Gold Dust Days, July 27th. Come see us. We'll put
Oh,
on
where's this at? So do
Gold
that.
Dust Days in Gold
Huh?
Bar.
Gold
There's a
Bar.
festival, and
And in Gold Bar, do they have a gazebo there that you're playing in? Is
I
park
don't know what the setup is. I think they're going to have music all day, and we're going to go on at
in the
4:30.
park?
I think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
haven't heard them,
Okay.
but I'll get that information out
All
when
right.
I.
Great. Can you put on matured musicians? Do you know how to do that? If not, just send it to me and I'll put it out there.
Okay. We're playing a Hoot and Holler Festival in Tulalip, and
Oh,
there's
that's
two
fun.
shows there. And Roger Fisher is going to be there, and there'll be a
Oh,
whole
cool.
bunch of musicians.
Oh, have you gone to his show? He had a show in Sultan.
Yeah, we play at Kiss the Sky bookstore.
Yeah.
Best open mics around, bar none. There's
Is it
none.
still there?
Yes, and I'm there just about every Wednesday night. All my friends, great musicians. I love
Oh,
them.
wonderful.
I love them all. And Roger, he'll come in now and then and poke his head in.
Wonderful. Oh, that's great. And so
Yeah.
what is it called again? What bookstore? Big Sky?
Kiss the Sky
Kiss
bookstore.
the Sky. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it when he put it out there, but I thought it was just people he was bringing in. I didn't know it was a jam.
Yeah, no, it's an open mic, and there's usually about 14 sign-ups. So it's always a
So
long.
come early. What time does this start?
Doors open at 6:30. It starts at 7, but sign
Okay.
up starts at 6:30. I'm always last because I never get everybody's barge in and get their name on it.
Okay,
It's a
Sean.
fun time. It's a great sound system in there. And even if you're not very good, we like get up there sing.
Absolutely.
But some really, really great. Suzanne's there a lot.
Ah, I didn't know that. I'll have to come
Yeah,
out. There, do
back.
you know about Grazi? Grazi's where Suzanne plays out there too. It's I think the second Friday of every month at the Grazi's in Duval.
I
It's a
played there.
winery.
Yeah.
Did you? That was fun. Yeah. And what else you got? Anything else so far?
The Hoot and Holler is Tulalip, and we're doing a national night out in Falls City. A few private parties, but like I
You got to
say,
get this out. You got to get this out on Mature Musicians so people can see you and hear you, John. Okay.
okay,
All
yeah,
right.
we're always open to come play parties. We love playing parties.
Perfect. How do they get a hold of you? Do you have a
Uh,
website?
yeah, they can go to Lost Dogs with a Z on Facebook.
Lost Dogs. Did you ever play at the Oxford?
No, no. There's a band called the Lost Dogs String Band.
Yeah.
We're different. We're Lost Dog, just Lost Dogs with a
How do
Z.
you spell dogs?
DOGZ as in zebra.
Dogz. I got it.
If
Okay.
you
So
Google Lost Dogs with an S, you get 10,000 hits.
okay. Great. Well,
Plus, you see the sign on telephone poles: reward Lost Dogs. Come see us and collect your reward.
all right, guys.
On 'em.
So we're already up to that 1 minute where it's now 1 o'clock. We're just going a little over here. But I do want to thank you for being on the show. I would like you back in about 6 months or so.
Would love to,
Nice
Joy.
update. And I'd like the rest of your band with you if we could get it together.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good, Joy.
It's
Thank
the
you.
deal. Well, you have a good rest of your time. Thanks for being on, John. I will send you the link to YouTube so you can see the interview and use it. Put it on your website, do it, burn it, whatever you want to do with it.
All right. Thank you for having me, Joy.
You're welcome. And say hello to your son and keep that smile.
All right. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, that's it. Next week, I have another guest coming. Give me a minute here. Maybe I could figure out who he is. And hope you enjoyed John. He's quite the character, and glad I had the chance to meet him. I think he has a great story to tell. I hope you do go to the website and see the documentary on the Great Northern Railway production, which is a story that he was telling on our show today. And let's see if I've got somebody here. I don't see anybody. I guess because it's coming up July 4th. So I'm going to have to check that out. I do not have anybody for how did I miss that? I'm going to have to get busy so I have somebody next week. If not, hope you enjoy your 4th of July. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you down the road. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening.